Live from live from EverMedia Studios in Los Angeles. This is EverTalk Live.
Happy Thursday, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jess Moyer. Welcome to EverTalk Live, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. for all things happiness in Hollywood, a little pop culture and positivity. And I couldn't be happier to be here with you today.
Me too, Jess. Oh my goodness, it's Thursday. How beautiful did Sabrina look? Are you kidding? Oh my God.
Sabrina looks beautiful.
Apologies, Sabrina.
That was one of our production assistants with her brand new hairdo. We love our team.
We do.
Special shout out to Sabrina, Alex Shine, Andy Waldman for making it happen for us.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how these folks do it. I mean, they work all day, every day just to produce the show. They get the incredible B-roll. We get the incredible guest. It's just fantastic team.
That hashtag Hollywood hustle.
It is indeed the Hollywood hustle. I love that, Jess. How you doing today?
Well, I'm very excited because you're sitting on it's our normal set,
yes.
But we've got a couple additions, a few set pieces left over from the Trading Bell. I want to walk you through
it. Yes,
because
please.
We're doing both our shows from Miami in the next 2 weeks. We're so excited about that. Taking Trading Bell on the road, EverTalk Live on the road in collaboration with Jawboy. Great production company, and we're doing this cool finance conference. So I wanted to show you a couple things that have really inspired me, including this Wall Street poster.
Wow, that is
here.
Old school right there, but
Right?
but new school, right?
So I
Classic
take it
movie.
you've seen it.
Yes, but it was quite a while ago.
Oh yeah, Buddy
you and
Fox.
Andy have inspired me to watch it again.
Oh, you should. Absolutely. It's one of my favorite films, and that's what kind of inspired me in this Trading Bell journey, if you will. My, path to discovering stock trading through Hollywood. Very unique. I've got my rosé bowl coming all the way from a gift shop on Wall Street.
So as in bull market.
The bull market, yes. You have to rub your lucky bowl and hope that the stock goes up. It's worked for me.
I was going to say, is it working for you?
Well, it depends on the day. It depends on the
Honest,
day.
I love that.
Right? We've got our chess piece here because it is like a
wow.
game of chess. Got some great books over there that are my homework, my learning materials.
Boy, this is like home, huh?
Right?
It
and
really
then,
is.
of course, a collection of other antique OG stock trading images from literally 100 years ago.
Oh my goodness. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear all of Andy Waldman's stories.
I'm sure you will in Miami over a good tequila.
Oh, can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to that. I love Miami. Love LA, of course, but nice to get away and
I can't wait for you to show us your Miami. That's the real deal.
It's changed so much. It's so interesting because when I first moved to Miami in 2002, it was right at the sort of end of the golden era, so it was modeling was still big, but it's bigger, and you get to keep the shoes and all that stuff, and then also there wasn't a whole lot of it was mostly mom and pop stores on the beach. We call South Beach the beach, right? So it was lots of mom and pop stores, not so many corporate entities. So it's changed a lot, but still love Miami. I mean, just the weather, the people.
I've only spent 24 hours in Miami. I was 17 on spring break.
Were you?
I don't remember a thing.
Naturally, that's the way spring breaks are meant to be spent, Jess.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm very excited to ask one of our special guests, who is Jet Set Jeanette, travel expert and journalist. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Have you been to Miami?
Yes, I have been to Miami. I love Miami. I have to say it's one of my favorite cities in the U.S.
So we're going to Miami in a couple weeks. Where do we have to go while we're there?
Well, So many places. I mean, I've been a couple times, but one thing I do recommend when you go is to go salsa dancing. I highly recommend that for sure. I don't think you can go too wrong on anywhere in South Beach.
Agreed. She earned that Jet Set Jeanette title, didn't she? Love it.
So here on EverTalk Live, we would like to know, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine? How do you wake up and stay woke?
Yes. So I am a morning person. So all night people find me so annoying because I wake up at 5 a.m. I do meditation. I do my daily affirmations, and I try to get everything for myself before 7 a.m. And then I deal with everyone else. So I'll check emails. I'll do all that after 7 a.m. But from 5 to 7 a.m., it's all about the mindset, working out, drinking my first cup of coffee, and I try to read a chapter of a book a day. So I try to do that. And I remember Tony Robbins, who would always say the first 90 minutes of your day is the most important, and it really sets the tone for the rest of your day. So I try to do as much as I can for myself first.
I love that. I remember Tony Robbins talking about the hour of power or power hour. I'm not sure exactly the way you put it, but yeah, it's great to start your day that way. What book are you reading?
I'm currently reading I just read it. I'm going blank right now. I'm sorry. I will have to go back to you.
The beauty of the camera.
The Seed of the Soul by Gary. Yes.
It's a great one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great book. I'm currently on the chapter about intuition, which is great.
Fantastic. Love that.
My intuition's telling me you're traveling soon.
Yes, I am traveling soon. So I'm really grateful for those in your audience who don't know me. Travel is such a purpose-driven goal in life for me. I started writing about travel 19 years ago, and I have been to about 60 countries so far. And in 2 weeks, I'll be going to Egypt for the first time to speak at the Women Economic Forum, which I'm really excited about because I love empowering more women to travel as a woman traveler. And I've always wanted to go see the pyramids, and I'm obsessed with the Egyptians. So it'll be a great experience. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Awesome. World Economic Forum. Good for you.
Well, we know Harry Howard travels a lot.
do.
In fact, we just saw him in Thailand. Good morning, Harry.
Good morning.
Morning, buddy.
Good morning. Well, Thailand and that leather jacket look really good on you.
It did, yeah. I wore the leather jacket by the pool.
Naturally. Very Harry Howard of you.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was rude because I was hiding my abs.
Oh my God, that is rude.
Yeah.
So
I
rude.
know.
Clearly, you can tell we have a comedian in the house. So, Harry, remind us all, how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your morning routine?
I wake up at 7:30, and then I do my actor day job,
Yeah.
and then I dream about
Yes.
the future.
Dreaming. What are you dreaming about these days, Harry?
I dream about being able to host full time.
Yeah.
Living the
Love
dream.
that, right?
Living the
Yeah.
dream, yes.
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
keep
that's
manifesting.
the dream. I do get to do it once a week, but if I could do it 5 days a week, that'd be quite epic.
Wow.
Would indeed.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We look forward to continuing the conversation with each of you later in the show.
Awesome.
So, Rob,
Yes.
first
Yes.
time you traveled out of the country.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Like you were jet set Jeanette.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Oh, I went to Jamaica. There was a period.
Oh.
It was a period of my life I was going to Jamaica like 3 times a year because it was when I was modeling. You know, so I was booked these jobs, and I remember the first time I booked a job in Jamaica, my mind was blown because I had never, like you said, I'd never been out of the States, and not just that, but I was getting paid to do it, and I was surrounded by all these other models. A lot of them had worked a lot. I had worked very little, and it was amazing. I mean, right?
It's a good luck. One of these days, Rob's going to share his pictures with us.
I know. The funny thing is, I pulled them up recently because we're shooting. A friend of mine and I are shooting a sizzle reel for this show, and so I had to send them the pictures, and so yeah, I'll share those one day with the rest of the world. But yeah. What about you,
Jamaica.
Jess? Do you remember?
The first time I went out of the country,
Yeah.
if Canada counts, I went and
Counts.
saw Phantom of the Opera with my mom. I was
Oh.
8 years old. We went on a bus trip.
Oh.
We drove from Michigan into Canada, but the first real time I traveled out of the country by myself, I went to France. And
Ooh.
it was,
You fell in love.
I did. Not only did I fall in love, it's like I got to visit and experience my past life self. I'm my best self in France,
Isn't it
really.
interesting how you can go to a place or visit a place or even meet a person and you feel like you've known that place or that person forever?
Absolutely.
Isn't it fascinating?
I felt that way about Los Angeles, though, too.
Really?
I did.
Yeah. Always felt that way about Miami. Miami, LA, I'm still growing into. I very much love LA,
okay,
but LA
Rob.
is a new dating scenario for me. But
Yeah, Rob doesn't date, he just dates the city.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I did do Canada, though. Funny you should mention that. That was probably officially my first time out of the country. And I went to Toronto and checked out the Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah, you got to do
right?
that. The whole poncho thing.
Yeah, and then you hear about the stories of people getting in barrels and
Oh
throwing
my
themselves
God,
off the falls.
that's not for us.
What? Yeah. That's LA is that experience every day. Anyway, it's a risky adventure.
Yeah, like Harry said, you're kind of just living on a dream.
Yeah,
Really, so
true.
much of us. It's, you know, they say Hollywood's a lot of smoke and mirrors because it seems like everyone's putting on a pretense and we're not. It's just what LA is, right? You've got to put on the dress and you go get your picture taken. And most of us still are seemingly having our own struggles, or we're angry because we're not hosting every day, or we're not booking that series regular, but we're still showing up and doing these things
my
and living
goodness,
this
Jess.
life that makes everyone appear,
Yeah.
make it appear to everyone like we figured it out.
I know Instagram is great for that.
Oh,
Facebook,
the best.
Twitter, you know, they help you sort of maintain or create this
Filter.
perception. Exactly, it's amazing. You know, but you bring up a good point, Jess, which I've been thinking about a lot lately. You know, Harry made a good point about, you know, sort of him dreaming every day. I love that practice of just dreaming every day, daydreaming about what you want to have happen. And you know, it was a video I sent you, and I sent it to Harry as well this morning. That's, you know, it was a Steve Harvey sort of talk. It was in between, I guess, on a commercial break during his show. And my mom originally sent it to me, and he was basically saying there was a point in his life, 1991, he had like $35. Like $35. Now, Steve Harvey is now worth $160 million, okay?
Well done, Steve
Right? Well
Harvey.
done, well done. So, you know, decades ago he had $35, and it was at the time where you would, you know, get on the payphone, and if you wanted to check your voicemail, you dialed into the voicemail system, and
Oh yeah, I
know.
remember the days.
yeah, exactly, right? Well, so he dialed in, and apparently he had a message from the Apollo, and they said, hey, we want you to perform. And they said, we want you to perform on Sunday. And he thought, well, I got $35, there's no way I can get to New York from where he was with $35. So he said, it's hopeless, forget it, I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna totally quit, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, it's just not meant to be. So, you know, once he felt that way for a second, I guess he gave it a little bit of time, and he called back and he said, you know, I'll check to see if it was meant for this Sunday or the following Sunday, because maybe if it's the following Sunday. He called back and he had another voicemail this time, and it was somebody that was closer, basically offering him a job that was gonna pay him $150. So he says, oh my gosh, so he takes that job, and then he did so well in that job in Florida that he booked his second night there, and then he had his $300 to go to Apollo. Next thing you know, he's hosting
Wow.
Apollo. So,
Wow.
right, it's fascinating to me because his whole point was, look, you never know what's sort of ahead. You can be guaranteed you'll fail if you give up. If you give up, it's never going to happen for sure. You know, but I wonder about that, Jez. I wonder about how you think and feel about faith, like what faith means to you.
Well, I mean, I have to live on faith every day of
Yeah.
my life. I always have, because there's so much uncertainty and so much instability, especially in this town, especially if you're pursuing any kind of passion or arts. You have to live on the faith that if you are aligned and you are living your truth, that it is going to work out, it is going to take care of you. And the universe has always served me. But there has certainly been moments where I thought, oh, thank goodness I've got a visa.
Yeah.
Is there any room left on it? Because here you go, I need groceries this week. But you keep showing up, and then the call comes in and the call comes in. But, you know, for me and for many of us, it's not just that one call that changes your life.
Yeah.
It's a daily practice of showing up and seeing how the universe is going to serve you many times in ways you don't expect every single day.
Yes.
Little by little. For me, it's not been one moment that changes my whole life. It's like, okay, you just got to keep doing it.
Oh my gosh, Jez, I love that so much. And you're right, it's like this really complex sort of tapestry of events and people that come together to create something you can't possibly script or write or predict at all.
I mean, looking back on your life, is that how you feel?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I mean, you know, I would do A and it would lead to oranges. Like, you know what I mean? It would like, I remember once going to it was a casting for a modeling gig. And I didn't want to go, quite frankly. I was at the pool. I wanted to stay at the pool because I knew I wasn't going to book the job because I very rarely book the jobs.
Right. Okay.
So I had a friend and she said, hey, can you take me to this casting? Because I had a scooter. That's all I had. I had to trade in my German cars for a scooter because that's all I could afford. And so I traded them in. I had the scooter, and she said, "Can you give me a ride?" And I said, "I don't really want to go to the casting, but fine, I'll do it because it's you." So I got on the scooter. I take her to the casting. I had no intention of actually going in. It was the same casting. But I got there and they're like, hey, you're Robin. I'm like, yeah. They're like, hey, we got this role. It's a speaking gig. Do you want to, do this thing? And I was like, nah, I'm not really an actor. They're like, just read the lines. So I was like, oh, all right. So I read the lines. I had no stress about it because I just knew I wasn't going to book it. So I think I did better, actually. Read the lines and then I think, that was pretty good, actually. Then there was something silly like, can we see your abs? That was part of the deal. Like, it was supposed to be like a show talk thing.
Yeah, life of a model.
Yeah. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to give you a call, we think. We'll let you know. Next thing I know, I got a phone call, and I did the CW on South Beach, that show, South Beach on the CW, and that led to other things, led to a book. I mean, it's mind-blowing, right? Mm-hmm. You can't predict these things.
No, you really, really can't. So many times I'll call my mom and I'll say, you're never going to believe it. She goes, of course I'm going to believe it. This stuff only ever happens to you. And I was like, nothing surprises you anymore. And she goes, no, you're just going to put it in the book someday.
Yeah, it's
put
true.
It in the book.
So, the one thing I've learned about it that I'll just share briefly is that, I think for me, faith is definitely a feeling. And I'm trying to live in that feeling place more consistently. But in order to live in that feeling place where it's not really desire, it's not really fear, it's more like peace, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
And it's confidence. And it's not necessarily confidence in the result. I think if you're focused too much on the result or on the scoreboard, it's hard to sort of keep your head in the game.
Because it's not going to play out the way you want it to.
No,
You can't
exactly.
control the game.
Exactly. And if you're looking at the scoreboard and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm down 60 points, or I'm down to $35, or all I've got is my Visa, you're going to be shaken in terms of faith.
Oh, completely.
Right.
It's really interesting though too, because when I started learning about like manifesting and things like that, I thought I could manifest it exactly the way I wanted it to come, right?
Yes,
so I
yes.
would think, oh, I'm going to manifest a coffee and it's going to come exactly this way. Well, that
Right.
never worked. But if it was like, I want that warm cup of coffee, and you don't know where it's going to come from, you just can feel it. Surprise!
Oh,
and it's way cooler than you could have written or expected for yourself.
Jez, I love that so much. And that's been my experience precisely. Like when I would try to manifest things like specifically, and I'd say, oh, I'm going to have this and this and this. It would never happen that way. And generally, I felt like my life would often get worse even, right?
Exactly,
So
fail.
Exactly. So at some point I said, well, why do I want this thing I want? Can I focus on the feeling of that thing? So if it's a car, or if it's a house, or if it's a hosting gig, whatever, what would that feel like on the inside? And can I just occupy that state and that feeling place more consistently? And just do it for the joy of it. Don't do it to try and get the result, because that's a bit of a trap, but just do it to enjoy it, like fall in love with that state. I would find that things would manifest themselves in surprisingly like bigger, better, more blissful ways than I had scripted or I had imagined.
Amen
Fascinating,
to
right?
that.
Yeah.
May your life be bigger and better than you could hope, imagine, or write for yourself.
Yes, I love that.
On that note, let's get jet set with Jeanette. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on EverTalk Live. Red carpet of the Entertainment Studios Oscars Gala 2020. We are celebrating everyone's hard work here in Hollywood.
That's right. So excited. Cannot wait to see Byron Allen.
And making memories tonight, Maroon 5 is playing.
Oh my gosh, who doesn't love Maroon 5, right? Do you have a favorite song, Jez?
All the memories.
All the memories. Fair enough. Touche. Very nice.
What an honor to be here 4 years in a row. Beyond just the hardest working people here in Hollywood, what are you here celebrating tonight?
Children's Hospital, that's what we're celebrating. They do amazing work. My mother had me 17 days after her 17th birthday. She was a teenage mom. Unfortunately, I became very ill, and she took me to Children's Hospital. They didn't turn us away. They did amazing work with me and helped save me, and didn't charge us a penny, and they do that every day for children and families. Long before I got there, long after I've been there, and we can't do enough. All of us can't do enough to help Children's Hospital.
So, obviously, you're excited tonight, but we're honoring everyone's hard work in Hollywood. What are you celebrating tonight, beyond just the films?
Beyond just the films?
Yeah.
I'm celebrating the fact that we can do this for the 4th year, that it's for such a fabulous cause, and that we can continue to support Children's Hospital.
What are you most looking forward to in celebrating and honoring tonight, besides the awards?
Raising $2 million for Children's Hospital LA, hashtag CHLA.
Love that. And why does that matter so much to you?
Because children are dear to my heart, children are important to Byron, and children are our future.
I think community, obviously Children's Hospital is a big one, an opportunity to kind of, be out and celebrate.
But I do think we have to celebrate the way women have not just arrived, but speaking loudly and boldly. I think Little Women is a film that we hopefully will all be celebrating tonight. And I think where Joaquin Phoenix is standing for and potentially, winning with the Joker work that he's done.
And the other thing that I'm celebrating is inclusion. So I think this year is a year of inclusion, and Mr. Allen definitely represents that. So that's a big celebration for me.
Thank you for continuing the legacy, Byron. We appreciate it.
It's all of us, everybody here tonight. So we're very happy to support them.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to EverTalk Live. We are here with Jet Set Jeanette, and we're talking travel as a state of mind. I know many of you set goals and resolutions to travel more this year. So where are people going in 2020?
Well, Portugal is really hot on the top list this year for 2020, and also Egypt is one of them, because Egypt is opening new museums and they're trying to get a lot more tourists, international tourists, to come. So Egypt is definitely high on the top 20 list.
And why Portugal? I mean, it sounds like a beautiful place, but why specifically?
Portugal is a place in Europe that people, it's kind of like the stepsister. Everyone usually goes to Italy or France or Spain, but Portugal is like that gem where when people go, I know Americans who've gone, they say they want to live there. I mean, they fall in love with it's small, but it's big enough, and you have the coast, so people love it for that.
Yeah. You've got a beautiful brand, Jet Set Jeanette.
I know.
Thank you. But what was the journey or experience that really made you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
Yes, and I'm so grateful to be here with you guys and your audience and share. Jet Set with Jeanette, it really came about 2 years ago. But I've been writing about travel for 19 years. So when I was a little girl, I'd watch Discovery Channel, History Channel, every channel about, Bourdain, Rick Steves, Samantha Brown. And I knew as a little girl, I was about 7 or 8 years old, I had this pivotal moment when I looked at the TV and I said, wow, I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna show people the world. Because I was so enamored, I realized how big this world really was. And I was a little girl and I told my mother, I said, Mom, I'm gonna do that one day. And she was like, oh, that's really cute. You know how some kids are, I'm gonna be an astronaut or ice cream truck lady. They're like, okay, whatever. But I knew as a little girl, this is what I was gonna do. I would look to news, and I think the news is important, however, not for my personality, and I don't wanna be the messenger of bad news. I wanna be the messenger of the good that's happening in the world, because there's so much culture, beauty, history, and I really found my purpose when I was a little girl. However, when I was a little girl, I didn't see anyone that really looked like me. So if there was a woman, she was like in a bikini or a supermodel, which is great, but I'm really brown and round, and I didn't see anyone that I could relate to on that level. So it kind of propelled me to do it more now in 2020. As a woman, we need more women in the travel industry and more diversity. So I speak a lot on panels about diversity and inclusion, also about women empowerment, and I'm going to speak in Egypt at the Women Economic Forum. And
super exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gangster. So talk to us a little bit, how did you make this happen? Because I think everybody has a dream of doing something or being something, and you made yours happen. And
Yes.
how did that come about?
It's been a journey, and it hasn't, you know what they say, success is not like the straight line. It's like a lot of up and downs.
Oh, there were
circles.
Circles and hills. It's the same for me. I knew in my heart and my why, like you were talking about earlier, knowing your why. I knew my why was so much bigger than myself. It wasn't about me. It was about just finding a way to unite people through travel. I found my calling through travel because I feel that travel helps break all the isms, the stereotypes, the racism, the ageism, the sexisms, all these stereotypes about cultures and countries that exist. However, when people go travel for themselves, they see and they experience, and their mind is open, and then they come back to wherever their home is with a different perception and a different experience. So. For me, it's always been communication. So my background's in journalism. I'm a journalist for 10 years now, and I went to producing at UCLA, always with the goal to host and produce a travel show. That's always been the goal. However, throughout the 19 years, I didn't really believe in myself sometimes, and I think that's where self-worth and the mindset work is so important.
Well, and traveling on your own.
Yes.
I've had an incredible opportunity to travel many places in the world and by myself.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And that was really interesting for me because it made me realize I was capable more than I would have expected. Now, when I had to go to work, I was forced to do that, right, to show up in a way. But when you can do that and make that choice for play, too, or for pleasure, you really challenge yourself in new ways. Go to a place where you don't speak the language. You can't read. You have to just rely on yourself.
Right. It's so, whether you're a woman or a man, it's so empowering to travel by yourself, but especially as a woman, because there are still these outdated beliefs if you're a woman and you want to travel alone that it's too dangerous or fill in the blank. And so I love to be a person that's constantly traveling by myself, whether for work or pleasure. Dangerous people are everywhere. Dangerous people travel. It's just about wherever you go, even within your own city, being mindful and just checking your surroundings. I mean, I was in New York City in September, and I was followed in broad daylight. I mean, it could literally happen anywhere. So it's just wherever you're traveling, and even in your own city, being very mindful.
Do you have any kind of tips or tricks on discovering a place? Maybe it's a new city or your own city, because some people forget to just be a tourist where they are now.
This is so true.
Love that, Jess.
Yes, just a few days ago, I had some friends from Romania that were here, and they had a list of all these places that they wanted to see, and I was really embarrassed that I haven't gone to any of them. I was like, oh wow, this is here, this is here. I mean, sometimes living in our great city like Los Angeles, there's so many gems and hidden spots that we may take for granted. I mean, I definitely do that.
So what did you and your Romanian friends discover in Los Angeles?
So
Maybe we need to know.
I know, right? There's a house in Beverly Hills that they nickname it the witch's house.
Oh.
It's it's really close.
Haunted?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's an actual house.
Yeah.
It's really famous. Of course, they want to go to the iconic, Hollywood sign, In-N-Out Burger, like all these. But they have these really specific checklist, Walk of Fame. But sometimes here and there, they'll put some really random places like that house that I never knew existed. And so. Yeah, it's really great.
Oh, I love that. Don't you think sometimes too, like the means by which you travel can also open up new opportunities? Like I discovered, like when I was in New York, I didn't know the train system very well, and I was used to taking the cab. So as soon as I took the train, all of a sudden I was discovering places in New York I didn't know anything about, and it sort of also helped me to slow down a little bit and appreciate and notice the new stuff that I hadn't seen before. But I've discovered that. Is that part of what you've discovered along the way as well, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I believe, this is something I always talk about, I believe travel is the mindset, and I believe we become travelers the moment we walk outside of our front door. Even if you take the same route every day, you never know who you'll meet, what you'll see. It's just, for me, travel is every day, all day. And what I like to help people in the travel industry, or just travelers in general, is that you can be a traveler no matter where you are, your budget, your time. We can go walk to the local park, we can go to the Hollywood sign, have a little picnic. I mean, we can do anything on any kind of time or budget. So I just like to share that with people, because a lot of people don't even put like a place that they want to go because they're just so, they're just so worried about all these other logistics.
Yeah. So it brings up a good point. So there's space sort of travel, and there's like time travel. And I think Jez and I, for two of us at least, want to, manifest things more quickly in our lives. And I know that you do a lot of work around that too with folks that want to manifest either more travel or other things. So talk to us a little bit about the vision boarding stuff that you do.
So I'm a huge believer in visualization and vision boards. I did my first vision board 5 years ago in my living room after I watched The Secret, this famous documentary, and I read the book. I was like, well, I might as well give it a shot. And I went to Rite Aid and bought a little 99-cent poster and just started tearing out, you know, magazines and typing specific affirmations or typing out specific things if I didn't find them in a magazine. And I put them on my vision board, and nothing happened like right away or anything. But, you know, over time, a couple months, I started to see like little things happen, manifest. And over a year or so, a lot of things would manifest, and people would say, what are you doing? I said, well, I do vision boards. What's that? And I go, oh, you put your goals or aspirations and affirmations on a board or on your cell phone or anywhere you can see and visualize in your mind. And they go, oh, that's silly. That's dumb. I don't have time for that. I say, okay. I keep doing my vision boards every year. And the best time to actually do a vision board that I've heard is on your birthday, because your birthday is your new year, your personal new year. So everyone does it January 1st, which is great, but if you want to like do a really effective vision board, I always say to do it on your birthday or the day before your birthday, and then to put it somewhere where you can see it. But I have so many stories of manifestations that have been even better than I could have imagined. I mean, and people who my girlfriends would start to come over like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It grew, they told their friends, they told their employers, then, you know, companies, an entire condo, you know, was like, can you come do this workshop for 300 of our residents? And, you know, they wanted me to do these, you know, workshops. And I was like, oh, well, I wasn't doing this for like a business, but it kind of grew organically over 5 years. And now people come to me and I do one-on-ones with CEOs, I do for groups, I do for fun, I do, I just personally, I love it so much because vision boarding, we go back to the childlike state where anything is possible, and that's really where a lot of the magic can happen because we don't limit ourselves to the conscious, to the logical, real, you know, reality.
We need to do more of that, living in our magic, right?
I love you saying that. It's interesting because I used to always joke that some of my most successful friends, the ones that would apply like the law of attraction stuff or the manifestation principles like most effectively, they weren't all that bright. We'd always joke, I said they have an intelligence, but just they weren't analytical. They didn't get caught up in analysis paralysis, right? And they had childlike faith, and I discovered how analysis can get in the way of sort of walking in that state of faith.
Yes, and what Vision Boards does is it works with the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, like affirmations, is so much more powerful than the conscious logical mind. And a lot of people are in autopilot and they're like, I don't want this and I can't. They're so focused on what they don't want that they don't even give energy to what they want. And so that's what I like to tell people just in general. And Abraham Hicks talks about that, and a lot of other people who practice law of attraction is when you're really focused and you give your energy to what you want, it's like you plant the seed, you water it, and the law of detachment is you kind of like let the sun shine, let it grow, because the day you plant the seed is not the day, you know, the fruit grows or the tree grows. So you kind of let it go, and just let the magic happen. You know, you put it out there, and watch how things organically will manifest. And you do the visualization. That's important, though. Abraham Hicks says 16, 17 seconds a day. You look at your vision board or your goals and you play it like a movie in your mind, and the logical mind will want to say, the ego and will say, oh, but I don't, and this and that, but this isn't real. Work with the subconscious mind, because subconscious mind is so much more powerful.
So where are you going to go for 16 seconds in your mind every day?
16 seconds? Oh man.
I'm going to the south of France.
Yes,
I'm in Canada.
I will be there with you.
Okay, perfect.
I'll probably be in Miami. Look how quickly that manifested. 2 weeks.
Well, thank you so much. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
Yes, so you all can follow me at www.jetsetwithjeanette.com. My Instagram is at jetsetwithjeanette. 2 N's. I'm always happy to be a resource for travel, for women, for diversity, anyone who wants to travel. So.
Love it.
All right, well, safe travels, my friend.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
guys, welcome back to another episode of Harry Howard Talks.
Here he is, folks. Third week at the Palace, Harry Howard.
Just following your dreams and your passions. I feel like that's very important because,
It is.
you know, why not do it? You have one life.
You do. You only have one life to live. And you only have one interview on Harry Howard Talks. Unless you maybe want to come back a year from now or something after you're in the Olympics or whatever. Brandon Perea right here.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo. You can find him on Netflix's The OA.
We are here. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, 2 seasons in.
Yes.
We're waiting to see if there'll be a third.
I am praying to God. I'm doing the movements to try to get to a dimension.
Just pray to
where
the
we have a third
Netflix
season.
executive gods.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
what you gotta do. You're actually grateful for everything you have.
Thank you.
Do you think that mindset of being humble has helped you get to where you are to this day?
I just always have in my mind, like, the things that I want to do. I set these goals and these dreams, and then they just come so vivid that I'm truly blessed, dude. I thank God every day, because it's crazy to, like, wake up and think about it, too, because I'm like, man, it's happening.
It's just hard work. When I saw your audition, I could see your eyes.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I could see it in your eyes. You know, you're willing to go to that place.
Yeah.
You're willing to show your flaws.
Yeah.
Basically, I've been hosting talk shows for 3 years now, and I've been getting guests almost every week, at least 2 a week. My guests, they've been really inspiring. More people keep coming on, I guess, because of my energy and the brightness that I bring, and I try to bring out the best in others. I discuss their mindset. We have fun conversations.
It's always a fun conversation with
is.
Harry Howard. Welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back.
I love having you
It's
back.
a new year, right?
It is a new year.
It's a new year.
Is this a new you?
Oh,
Or just a new
haircut.
do?
New
Okay.
hair, new do. I got the half. I do a half, which is right above a 0.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
So I shortened it up. I got
Yeah.
like the hipster Harry going on.
I love it. Harry, you've been so busy, you know, guest after guest.
Yeah, no.
With Harry Howard Talks and with your acting and the comedy. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what happened last year for you and what you're looking forward to this year.
I think I've grown a lot. I'm sort of trying to embrace the spirituality in my talks, the philosophy of what makes people do what they do. I really like to discuss the mindset. See, what I used to do is a lot of it, I would try to find the funny, but I bring out the funny on its own just by being myself.
Love that.
So I'm embracing myself more than ever, and I'm learning how to do that in my acting classes, because being yourself as an artist is the hardest thing to do. It sounds like the easiest thing to do.
Well, that's why many actors can't host, because there's no character to hide behind.
Right.
You have to show up as yourself.
Touche, Jess.
Yes. Well, this is me.
Yeah.
This is me when I'm sad. No.
Yeah.
You don't want to see.
Well, it's interesting.
You don't want to see me with road rage.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. So
Yeah.
talk to us a little bit about that, Harry. Like, how does a person begin to do more of that? I think just like be themselves and fully embrace themselves. You know, whether they're a performer or some other profession.
What I learned is that you don't want to push. You don't want to try to accentuate something. You literally want to pretend that there's no cameras right here and there's no lights over here, and that we're just hanging out in my studio apartment, not in a studio.
Yeah.
That's what I've really embraced. And it took years to understand that. Years, because you feel that you're not enough.
Yeah.
Especially when you're having people watch you.
That's true. That's true. Is it hard sometimes to bring the energy when you're just leaning into the being yourself fully, or no?
Actually, it's hard for me to bring the energy down.
So
for
so
me,
you're naturally high.
I'm naturally high, and it's entertaining, but you need to stay grounded. So I have to balance my high energy into just like being like a normal person who breathes oxygen, who exhales CO2. You know?
Imagine that, right?
Imagine that. I'm a mammal. What?
It's a lot to ask. I was on a date the other day, and the guy, could you just, you're like fully like turned on.
Really?
But I wasn't turned on like that. He was just like, you're so Hollywood. And he's like, bring it down.
Really?
And I'm like, yes.
I don't see that.
But it's
Yes.
hard. It's hard to bring it down when you have to live so on. You're living under the lights and the cameras and hustling day in and day out.
Day in
Like,
and day out.
living ready for that dream. Living ready for that.
Living ready for the dream. And what I love about hosting is I get to discuss people's dreams. And I don't like to come from a place where I said, how do you feel about acting? How do you feel? What made you decide to get into acting? I asked them what mindset got them into being an artist. What was their drive? Not because you enjoy it, but why do you enjoy it? I really try to dig deep into the why they do what they do.
So why do you enjoy it?
I enjoy it because you get to create. And what I discovered, actually, what I most enjoy is I love watching people watch me. So I love watching the reactions of what I'm doing. I like to get people lost in my work where they can escape their own lives and enjoy it. So in a sense, it is escapism, but at the same time, reality is escapism. This is the reality for me.
Yeah.
I'm getting all meta on you right now.
Yeah, very meta.
Yeah,
Very meta.
yeah. So I think the most inspiring interviews and the most insightful interviews is when I get to figure out your inner core and make you actually figure out on the spot. I didn't even realize this is what I do and why I do it until I had this interview.
Wow.
So I make people find things about themselves.
Yeah.
In doing that, what have you learned about yourself?
What I've learned about myself is being grateful, and having gratitude is a workout. So people say all the time, I'm grateful. You have to work out your brain to be grateful.
Yeah, so true.
Because when you're going through that negative moment, you're benching like 90 on each side. You are.
I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. But anybody can say they're grateful.
Yeah, it's
all
true.
right? But you
And
know,
most
be
people do.
sick and be grateful now.
Yeah.
Benching the brain.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's
Pay your bills and be grateful.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So the key is not being grateful when things are going well, because that's easy.
So
it's being
true.
grateful when everything is going to hell.
Yes.
That's
That's profound, Harry.
Yes.
It really is. It really is. So you've obviously been doing a ton of reps.
Oh yeah, this brain is buff. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in my skull.
Have you discovered any little tips or tricks in getting those reps out, especially when things are going badly or poorly, or when you're feeling super stressed?
What I've learned is to talk to people who really care about you, because you need somebody from an outsider perspective to tell you how well things are going, because we are always lost in comparing ourselves to others. That's the biggest issue that I think that keeps people from being successful, is comparing themselves to others. And you need somebody to tell you, I'm comparing myself to you. And that's what my friends are there for, because they're jealous that they have normal jobs and they don't get to be on camera every week like me. So you need somebody to
Fantastic.
keep you grounded in that.
Put you in check, Harry.
Put me in check.
That's right, and put you in reps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Put you in reps, yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Well, please remind everyone where they can find and follow you, and of course, watch Harry Howard Talks.
You can watch Harry Howard Talks on Roku and Apple TV, #1, but you can find it on my Instagram, Harry Howard. The O's a 0, and like I said, it isn't a 0 because I am a 0. It's because somebody took Harry Howard.
True. Thank you, Harry. We so deeply appreciate you.
Yes, thank
and
you.
And you are killing it.
Oh, well, yeah. No felonies, though. Killing it in a spiritual way.
Metaphorically, figuratively.
Yeah. No lawyers are involved in me killing it.
And we are grateful for you. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We will be live at 9 a.m. Of course, all the episodes can be seen on EverTalk, on Apple TV, and Roku.
Thank you.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in. Please check out Harry Howard. Great guy. Super funny.
Check out the
Have a great day on
the abs in the
purpose.
Happy
brain.
Thursday.
Yes, happy Thursday. Yeah.